And you can see this destruction behind me now. National Weather Service was on scene earlier today to actually sift through that debris.
Yeah, there's still a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, and that could still churn up really a wintry mix at any time overnight tonight. And this heat out here is definitely just making a factor. It's certainly going to play an impact in this game, and it's making an impact out there right now. Heat advisories really across some of South Mississippi. Hail and also some deadly lightning associated with this. Let's go and get right into the Doppler Edge radar here. You can get a better handle on these storms. Now here's the National Weather Service believes it was an outflow boundary ahead of the cold front or a strong disturbance that was tracking from the Gulf towards the northeast. Now once these disturbances started to fall apart, it actually generated these strong straight line winds. Well, Joe, Jennifer, that's exactly right. Severe weather threat all through South Mississippi. They just extended these watches here in South Mississippi through 8 o'clock tonight, and they could be extended a little bit further looking at the Doppler Edge. A nice clear evening for us here in South Mississippi. We've made it to Friday, and things are looking pretty good out there on the Mississippi Power live on 25 cam at the Silver Slipper. Some light traffic out there, clear over the bay, and that is going to continue overnight tonight. Taking it to the Doppler Edge right now. Notice off to the northwest, they're seeing a few showers earlier in the day. Notice they're just drying right up though as they track to the east. That's really what we've seen. Just very dry conditions here in South Mississippi. That should continue as well. This is just the frontal boundary stalling out a little bit. Gonna head our direction a little bit later next week. That's when we're talking about that making its way here. But before it does, we are in store for a absolutely beautiful weekend. Let's take a little bit wider view. Those heavy showers and thunderstorms. As I mentioned, you can see the dew point right now at 70 degrees. That's only a degree off that temperature, really where it should be. But it's these storm reports that happened earlier. They're still seeing heavy rainfall there in those locations for the most part. And let's take it back about 12 hours. You can get a very clear picture of exactly what happened. Earlier in the day, we see these showers and thunderstorms really start to develop. Then notice, let's keep our eye just north of Louisiana here, of New Orleans. We see these storm cells start to form right there, and that's when the first storm report comes in. Tornado warning ahead of that. Tornado warnings ahead of all of these cells right here popping up as well. Really, these people had plenty of time. They were given about a half hour's warning when these tornado warnings started to issue, and there's a very clear track. You see it right there of where exactly these storm reports were coming in and where those strong cells moved through. Now, that was the strongest cell, a bow echo forming there and causing these tornadoes, spotted by trained weather spotters, not confirmed yet. National Weather Service will be doing their studies there to make sure exactly what happened. But folks, you saw all the damage they had. These storms are not to be taken lightly. When we start to hear these threats of severe weather, you definitely want to take shelter immediately, especially if you're in a mobile home. Folks, leave the mobile home. Get outside if you have to. Get in a ditch. Cover yourselves, especially if you hear a warning. And once these warnings were issued, that's when these storms really started to appear. So keep that in mind. Also, if you can, get to the lowest interior portion of your home or business, a sturdy building. Keep yourself covered and stay away from glass. You saw all the debris that was going on there. And of course, for more information and what we can expect later on tonight, I'll have a full report coming up for you in your full weather forecast, and that's going to be in just a little bit. Extended cold front. What's happening is an area of low pressure. It's centered right now in Missouri, and what's happening, it's dragging along this frontal system stretching all the way from Wisconsin and into Texas. That's about 1,500 miles long. This storm is stretching all the way through and pushing slowly now into Mississippi. We're seeing some severe thunderstorm warnings just outside the viewing area. We've been dealing with tornado warnings ourselves. No active warnings right now for South Mississippi. Could change very quickly though. Looking at the Doppler Edge, and as I mentioned, towards the west, you can see a lot of lightning being developed with these storms. We've seen some pop-up showers and thunderstorms so far, just some convection going on, and what we're expecting to happen is this cold front to begin to push through in the next 2 to 3 hours, start to bring in some heavy rainfall, lots of lightning, but the most dangerous component with this is going to be winds. Strong straight line winds potentially could produce a tornado as well. That's how much activity we've seen throughout the afternoon. A lot of heat building up along with some humidity, and that's exactly what these showers and thunderstorms need to develop, and that's why we're keeping a very close eye on these storms. The tornado watch is going to be in effect all the way through until 10 p.m. tonight, and I'd play it safe tonight, folks. Stay inside, keep very close to, if you have the weather radio handy, make sure you have fresh batteries in that, and certainly keep it tuned right here. We're going to be updating you throughout the evening as new warnings are issued. Now, as far as rainfall is concerned, this is another major threat with these showers and thunderstorms through about midnight tonight. That's when the heaviest stuff's going to fall, and you can see lots of heavy rainfall. Almost 3 inches expected for Gulfport and Biloxi, about 2.5 for Sosha, but the biggest rainfall coming there, you see it in Loosedale, so George County, 3 inches of rain. Now, Now, this is just one model taking into account how slow the cold front's moving right now. It could speed up a little bit, but after we get through tonight, looking at a fairly nice week ahead. You can see it on the 7-day forecast. We clear out nicely into tomorrow, but before we get there, certainly that severe weather threat is going to be sticking around. Well, despite all the talk of severe weather heading our direction, had a few deaths, a few casualties related to weather today just to our northwest. We saw that earlier in the newscast, and we have seen those tornado watches drop. But looking at the Doppler edge, folks, we are not out of the woods yet. Notice some back building happening along this cold front. The storms we saw earlier were actually ahead of the cold front, and now we're seeing it start to pass by. Now notice Hancock County, you're starting to see some showers move in. Jackson County right now near Hurley, you're just seeing some small storms bubbling up there. You see that on the Doppler edge, northwest Jackson County. You're going to be dry for the next hour or two before the showers really start to move in. As we head back to the west, notice Wiggins, you're starting to see some showers move your direction as well, and then we're going to see really a big rain event continue to head our way. We've had a lot of rainfall already, but notice some showers picking up, some lightning picking up as well. We didn't see a whole lot of lightning when that first round of showers moved through South Mississippi. It's starting to pick up a little bit, so still certainly a dangerous situation outside where winds are going to be picking up as well, and that is going to continue throughout the evening. Now, as we take a little bit wider look at the Doppler edge, these storms, folks, still building there in Louisiana. Notice New Orleans still getting rained on, and these areas that saw the severe weather, those spotted tornadoes coming through, they're also dealing with these heavy rain showers right now while they're trying to clear up. Thankfully, the lightning has pushed a little bit further to the east, and they're going to see things dry up just a little bit now that this severe weather threat starting to move our direction. Now, certainly not out of the woods, as I mentioned, but things are starting to clear up just a little bit, especially further west. Notice over the past several hours how these storms have moved. Here's what's left of those showers and thunderstorms that came through very early and brought in those tornadoes. You see that very clear line right there, folks. It's moved into Georgia now, and thankfully we're not seeing any more of that anticipated as those tornado watches have been dropped here in South Mississippi. Now, future edge is still bringing in some showers, some stronger storms as an area of low pressure continues to push through. Notice by right around 12:30, some stronger storms off in the Gulf. It's going to pick up on a lot of that moisture there over really the water. That's the main concern right now. We clear up after that, however. Notice mostly cloudy skies as we wake up tomorrow morning. Strong winds as well. They're going to be gusting from the west-northwest. They're going to be slowing down throughout the day. The sun will come back out, and we'll get some sunny skies there. Some good news after these deadly storms move through. And then for Christmas, the sun continues to push in, and it's going to be a nice looking Christmas as far as temperature wise goes. Here in South Mississippi, those high temperatures will be in the upper 50s. Now for tonight, for us, however, temperatures are going to drop into the low 50s, 53 degrees. These winds still 10 to 20 miles per hour there, and we do have some more thunderstorms heading our direction. Christmas Eve, the main concern is going to be those strong gusting winds out of the west, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Notice throughout the day, we start off with the clouds. We clear out, though, and by the time we make it in the afternoon, temperatures in those 50s. And for Christmas, right now, we're looking at temperatures in the upper 50s. Rain chances come back in for Saturday.